And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second broadcast of the day. We did end up turning down the stream just so we can reset the delay, but we are getting into Solar versus MaxPax. It is a best of 5. We missed out on game 1 and game 2, unfortunately, but I'm just quickly double checking on where we are at with that series, and it looks like we are tied up 1-1. Oh, let's go. So we missed 2 games. We only missed out on 2 games, thankfully, and we are here for the rest. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Equilibrium, we have the Danish Protoss player, the best Protoss in all of Europe, representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Onside Gaming. It is Solar. Here we go. Now, to quickly go over what this is, because I'm sure there are people watching that are like, what's happening? Where are we? What exactly is going on? This is the Cao Shuai Cup. Cao Shuai Cup, aka Korea versus the world, day number 2. We casted day 1 last Thursday. It was on Thursday before the weekend, and we had the luxury of casting some amazing best of 5s. This is again a bit of a team league format. It's Korea versus the world. So far, a couple of players have been knocked out. For the Korean team, Kier was the first to go down. He has been eliminated from this team league match. Likewise, when it comes to the world, Cyril and Estrella were both knocked out by Solar. So Solar, heavy hitter, took down 2 players from the world. And who does the world send out? Who can stand up against the might of Korea? MaxPax. At least they hope so. It's a best of 5. Best of 5. The winner stays on. The loser gets knocked out and has to be replaced by another player from his team. Whether it's, we still have Maru, Dark, Hero in the backline. For the world, we still have Clem in the backline, and I believe not Rainer, Straya did replace him. We have Clem and... is that it? No, shot. We have another player, right? Oliveira, that's it. We have Clem and Oliveira. We have 2 Terrans remaining for the world. The Zergs have been knocked out. At least from the world. From Korea, they're still standing strong. There's still plenty available. And here we go. We're getting into this opener. We do have a Stargate opener coming out from MaxPax. Again, we missed out on the first 2 games because they were taking place during the finals of ESL Asia. So we wrapped up ESL Asia first, and we are jumping in mid-series into the thick of it. I also have to quickly double check and make sure that we're on Team Liquid and all that good stuff. Make sure that we are posted. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh my, Solar. As we get into this standard opener, it was a hatch gas pull out of Solar, but he's going for a third base. The third base is the gold base. Greedy move here from our Zerg player. We did see Dark successfully take this against Classic merely hours ago, so we'll see if Solar can do the same against MaxPax. As for now, MaxPax is in the dark. He has not spotted which third base has been taken. He's checking now, though. He's going to be rotating around with this Adept, going to be checking the triangular third, the linear third, and eventually the gold. For now, though, it looks like MaxPax is more concerned with harassing, more concerned with doing damage, and as a result, he's still not fully aware of what's going on. The first Oracle has hit the field. Again, standard opener out of MaxPax, Stargate into Oracles, into a third base. Nothing too fancy from the Max of the packs. Here we go as the Oracle does chain on through, but takes a lot of hits from these queens. Not ideal here. The Oracle doesn't get any worker kills and is already at half HP. Meanwhile, the Lings do get across the map. Soul just making sure he's not being all in. Will get eyes on the third base eventually. Checking the linear third, then the triangular one. There we go. He does confirm. Second Oracle comes in, also gets eyes on the third base. We can see here that Solar hasn't Maynarded yet, but now here we go. The drones are on the way. The queens are here. Are they here in time, though? Oh, quick spore out of Solar. Keeps the drone alive, but we'll lose another. As Solar's getting in position at the same time, Oracle gets into the main base. 3 drones going down in total, and we're not done. Second Oracle goes into the natural once again. MaxPax just trying to keep tabs here on Solar, trying to punish the economy, but so far has been unable to. 3 worker kills is nice and all, but this gold is really paying off. Is paying off, and it is not being punished. MaxPax behind this. He's transitioning into his Twilight counter on his Forge, +1 and Blinker on the way, a Gateway Explosion as well. Everything's looking as it should here. The problem is that really there's just a lot of pressure on MaxPax to get economic damage, more so than usual. As he gets 3 more worker kills. In total, he's gotten 6. You can see how efficient MaxPax has been. Really well done here, actually. Getting 6 worker kills, an Overlord, a Ling, a couple more Lings actually. Very nicely done out of MaxPax, but it's still not enough to overcome this gold. And we'll see what direction Solar goes in. Interesting, so he's not going Hydra, he's going to be going Ling Roach instead. Ling Bane Roach, actually. Bit of a more older school army composition. We saw Dark was very fond of Ling Hydra today. We saw a lot of Ling Hydra in his ZVPs. But from Solar, he's committing to just the tried and true Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Stalkers are pushing forward. Ravagers are still being morphed in. The Lings, they try to set up a surround. They try to cast some reinforcements, but alas are unable to. They only get some shield damage. Oh, but they do get eyes on the gold, and MaxPax will not get away with this. The Lings, they get a full surround. This one Stalker is not enough, and we should be forcing a cancel. Oof. Very nicely done here from Solar. MaxPax still trying to work on his 4th base as Solar gets his 5th up and running. There we go. Stasis traps are being thrown now. MaxPax, he's stuck at home trying to expand, which means Solar has the freedom to drone, to spread his creep, to get control of his own side of the map. And MaxPax doesn't really have enough to threaten him. He's going to try to pick off potentially even some queens if possible. As he moves out, the Lings move in, and they will get the Zealots. Shouldn't get much else. Stasis is just gonna be going off, buying a bit of time here for MaxPax. He is getting that goal base slowly up and running. Zealot run by into the main. Slow lots warp in, actually. Oh my god. As charge was delayed. Charge was delayed. Now Solar is about to max out. So again, this goal base really kicking in. 190 supply essentially here for Solar. Pushing on forward. And what does MaxPax have to defend? No Colossus, no Disruptors, no Immortals, just only Blink Stalkers. The Oracles are being annoying, but the Queens come forward, and Solar is looking to snowball out of control. He's just rolling on forward. Stasis trap's not the best connection from MaxPax. Another stasis trap doesn't go off the bailings. They roll in. They go straight for the mineral line. And as they keep the mineral line busy, we can see the army just pushing on forward, getting on top of those stalkers. The probes, no! Oof, will go down. The mineral line falls. The main army of MaxPax is still looking strong. He's actually catching a couple of these stalkers. Sorry, a couple of these queens. The stalkers are trading well, but he did lose a mineral line. Oh, Zealot Ramba in the main base. So MaxPax doing quite a bit of counter damage. He's not killing workers, but he's keeping the attention of Solar back at home, forcing a lot of lost mining time. MaxPax, he still has a pretty terrifying army. Now it's going to be his turn to push in. Again, MaxPax, he's not going down without a fight. More Zealots into the main base, killing even more workers. 4 more drones go down. Solar, his economy is not looking too hot right now. He's down to 55 workers. The gold base helps, but likewise, MaxPax is also taking advantage of his own gold. So Solar is not as far as ahead as he otherwise would have been. Oof. Trying to work through these rocks, taking a lot of hits in the process. Jesus, that is a massive Stalker army. 36 Stalkers. Ay, ay, ay. Bailing run-by comes in, doesn't connect. Only one does, only one Bailing. Zealot run-by going to be distracting Solar for a moment, as he tries to keep up with those Stalkers. At the same time, another Zealot run by here towards the south. And Solar's pretty all in. I don't know if you noticed, but Solar hasn't been droning, and he doesn't have another hatchery on the way. Solar, he's basically going for one big Ling Bane Road Ravager all in. He's not thinking further ahead. He's not teching. He's not getting more upgrades. No Hydroden or Spire. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for MaxPax. Now Colossus have hit the field, and this is slowly turning in favor of the Protoss. Solar, he had to end the game earlier. He had to break his opponent, and he just barely couldn't. Now Solar is hurting. MaxPax is getting further and further ahead economically. Stasis traps are going off. Colossus is looking exposed, and looks like Solar may be able to just barely get it, but no, another Colossus comes in to reinforce. There is no Prism. First Colossus goes down. Zealot run by at the same time catching reinforcements as well. And MaxPax's economy is safe and sound. Yeah, and this may just be too much. This may just be too much Protoss at this point. It was all or nothing for Solar. Here we go, MaxPax. Now with this push, he can actually cut through a lot of this creep. He's catching these the Roach Ravager as well. Oh, decent biles. Decent biles will connect. Looks like MaxPax was a little bit distracted by his Warpism, by his harass. But again, MaxPax, he has maxed out. Solar is being outscaled. He now has an infestation pit, but that is a very late pit. Well, the Bailings, they do connect. But that was an expensive trade from Solar. Took a lot to kill one Colossus. Same time, another Zealot run by coming in. Solar is being pulled apart. Again, Solar, he hasn't lost a lot of workers, but he just hasn't been making many workers. That's the problem. Zealots towards the south. Zealots here in the main. GG gets called. It's just too much. And MaxPax takes game number 3, taking a lead in this series. GG. I also just realized we didn't have any music. Ah. Oh, no, we did. GG, well played. Again, Solar, he was all in, and the push where he almost broke the third base, that was his moment. That was when he needed to win the game then and there, because he didn't break MaxPax. Then slowly over time, MaxPax just outscaled Solar over the course of that game. It did become too much, and GG, well played. MaxPax is now one game away from just making it on through, from eliminating Solar and fighting back for his team. Uno más, papi, uno más. That's all he needs. Here we go. You can hear the beeps. We're going to be loading on in to our next game, to potentially our final game of the series. It's going to be on Site Delta. Does anyone feel like the gold is a little bit too easy to hold on this map? I don't think so. Something that we didn't see was Adept Harass in conjunction with the Oracles. MaxPax, he was just relying on his oracles to try to keep that gold base in check. Solo, he was able to take advantage of it, but committed to an all-in that did not pan out. And here we go. Up next, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the Danish Protoss player representing Sidestorm Gaming, one game away from taking down Solar. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Onsite Gaming. It is Solar. He needs to bring it back here and now. Oof. And MaxPax is going to be quite annoying here. Is going to delay that expansion. Oh, Solar going to be punished for it as well. Has to make an extra drone as he takes his third base here at the triangular third location instead. It's a little bit inefficient, but not the biggest of deals. As we're getting into this again, I'm not too familiar with what happened in the first couple of games. That last game on Equilibrium was very, very unique to the map itself. So I expect to see something very different here on Site Delta. Oh wait, who came first? Oh, Slowbro came first. Not so slow anymore. Is that a first for you, Bob? Is that the first time? Usually it's Einstein. Slowbro coming out on top. Here we go. So far, again, just a hatch gas full opener here out of Solar. Again, his expansion was a little bit delayed. He had to make some extra drones just because he was a bit greedy in trying to take his natural. Outside of that, nothing too major. Just getting into the swing of things here. Going to be walling off and setting up. The third time. Usually I'm asleep. Ah, okay. Fair enough. Good morning, Bappy. Good morning. As it is going to be a Stargate opener out of MaxPax. Again, standard opener. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. Should be Stargate into Oracles for my red Protoss. And again, predictions will be open for the next series. Because we jumped in mid-series, I didn't think it was too fair to open up predictions, so we'll be holding off on them until later on. Don't worry. You can get your Gamba on later. I promise. Oh no! Jesus. Solo a little bit nervous there. He's going to be losing 3 drones here at his third at the same time. Ling did slip into the main just to confirm the opener. Oracle's on the way, but MaxPax is doing well for himself already. 3 worker kills for 1 adept. Decent trade here from MaxPax as he walls off back at home and is soon to hit the field with his oracles as well. Here we go. So far, we've got 2 queens here at the triangular third. The natural is a bit exposed, and we managed to camp some of the larva at least. The spore is not done, but the second queen comes out just in time. And we get a lot of damage done on that oracle. At the same time, we do have Lings across the map trying to punish the third base, trying to catch some workers or anything. But Solar, he runs into a brick wall. MaxPax does hold on to his 3 bases. And he's not done. His first oracle may have taken a lot of hits, but we have a second oracle and a third oracle on the way as well. Ooh, interesting choice. Solar going for a Baling Nest and amassing Lings. Okay. So he's going to be going Ling Bane. He's not relying on roaches. Bold move. We'll see if it can pay off. The oracles do dip into the main base, and they will scout the Baling Nest. An Oracle goes down, but seeing that Baneling Nest is already a big tell that MaxPax needs to prepare to defend back at home. As 22 Lings are in production, Solar going for a big Bane bust. And MaxPax, can he prepare in time? We have more gateways on the way. Again, MaxPax, if he wanted to, he could just try to hold on to his natural. No shield batteries though. No overcharge. Adepts, they still get even more damage. 2 more drones. Oh my god. And I'm just waiting for Solar to come in. And there we go. The 8 Banelings are on the way. Solar, he's cutting workers at 38. Solar, he's completely all in. One way or another, the game will end. We have a couple of shield batteries in production. The Oracles are going ham. So far, a lot of Lings are going down. Solar may be bleeding out too much, but he's going straight for the natural. Up, for the third. Going for whatever he can. He's going for it. The Banelings, a waddle on in. Good reaction out of MaxPax. He does keep his probes alive. Overcharges pop, but the shield battery is depowered. And Solar will break this third. Or at least he should. As the probes, they come back too soon. They crash into the Banelings, but we have reinforcing Stalkers and MaxPax. Can he hold? Blink is not done. The Oracle's doing what they can, but the Stalkers are going down one after the other, and Solar does break the third base. The Oracles are out of energy. And from here, Solar is droning. He is happily droning back at home. He has done more than enough. He didn't just get the base, he also got the mineral line, and he killed how many Stalkers? 7 Stalkers. Oh. And from here, Solar, he can drone, he can tech, Lair is on the way. From here, we can go into Hydras. I imagine it's going to be Hydras because we skipped out on the Baneling, sorry, on the Roachwarren. I imagine that's the direction we want to go in. And now MaxPax has to slowly expand, slowly take his third base. Quite far behind. And there's a lot of onus on MaxPax to get some damage done here with this army. He's got Blink and +1. A very maneuverable army. Very flexible. Very microable. And there is that Hydra Den from Solar. And it makes sense because he did skip his Roachwarren. As he moves out, Lings are moving in. There is an Oracle in position. And oh god. Stasis Trap is baited out. MaxPax, he wants to try to punish this 4th base if possible. Get a kill on it if possible. There are plenty of Queens, Lings. Once again, we do have a big counterattack as well. Good positioning though out of MaxPax. Oh. The Hydras are arriving. We have plenty of energy for Transfuse. This hatchery should be safe. Yeah, there just aren't enough Stalkers. We've got a couple of reinforcements coming in. By that I mean an Oracle. But again, Solar has plenty to defend. Stasis traps are going off on Lings, but the Hydras have arrived. And just like that, Solar holds onto his 4th base. He holds onto his economy. MaxPax has been saturating his 3rd behind this. But the army of Solar is getting a bit out of hand. Hydra speed on the way. Rocks are being knocked down. Solar, he's amassing an army. He is not saturating his 4th. He's making more Hydras and more Lings. He wants to go for the kill. He wants to end it here and now. And we've seen, like, mixed results with that. Do you have to be careful? Here we go. A sentry goes down. Stasis Trap gets baited out as well. We do have an overcharge. Overcharge is popped. The Hydras are blocking up those Banelings. They're going to be rolling on in. They crash into the shield battery. Do we have enough to kill these Stalkers? Solar. He may be overextending. He's going to be losing a lot of these Hydras. These are expensive units. Lings are trickling in. And it looks like Solar is barely breaking through. The reinforcements, they arrive just in time, and the Hydras, they get on top of the army, they get on top of the cannon. And Solar has done it. GG gets called. We are going to the ace match. Let's go. GG, well played. We are going all the way to game 5. Can I set this up? Yeah. We are going all the way to game 5, and we'll see. We'll see which way this goes. Personally, I love it. We won more games, Papi. We won all the games, all the ace matches. We've already had so many of them this tournament. Cure versus Cyril went to game 5. Solar versus Cyril went to game 5 as well. And now Solar versus MaxPax going the distance to the ace match. Oh, here we go. MaxPax looking as stoic as ever. And game 5 is going to be on, on Hecate. Okay. Pig map. Going to be loading into Hecate here for the final game of this series. It all ends here. As a reminder, the way this format works, the winner of this series stays on, the loser gets eliminated, and the losing team has to field another player. So Team Korea would have to field a player if Solar gets knocked out, or the world will have to field a player if MaxPax gets knocked out. Here we go. Looks like the players are just getting ready. Breakfast plus WTL events is pretty good. It is. That sounds amazing. I would like some breakfast. I was about to say this morning was our coldest so far this year, so it was hard to escape the bench. That's fair. That's fair. The bench. It's a safe place. It's a safe place. Keeps us safe, Bobby. Keeps us safe. We are getting into our next game. You can hear the beeps. The final game of this series. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate, we have the Danish Protoss player, usually representing Sidestorm Gaming, but here he is representing the world. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, representing usually Onside Gaming, but here representing Team Korea. It is Solar. Here we go. Oh. Again, Korea, they are currently up in this series overall. They've only lost one player. The world has been losing a couple more. They've lost Estrella, they've lost Cyril. They've lost their best player, arguably. They lost their best Zerg, at least, in Cyril. Can the rest of the world keep up? Can they make do without their hero? For now, Hatch got spool. Oh, Solar able to take his natural, something you rarely get to see. Is on the way, but a Hatch got spool nonetheless from Solar. Back at home, MaxPax setting up a gate expand economic opener. Once again, in the early game, there's nothing really to write home about. It's about the mid game. It's about the tech of choice. Whether we go Stargate, Twilight Council, it's MaxPax. It should be a Stargate. There shouldn't be anything too crazy here in the early game. MaxPax is a relatively standard player in this matchup, at least. But we'll see. We'll see what kind of direction he takes us in. as this is coming down to the wire. Yeah, Solar is just going to be confirming. Just coming in for a scout. Of course, getting an eye on everything there is to see. Of course, going to be confirming, oh, that Warp Gate is not going to be delayed. Interesting. Okay. As we cancel Warp Gates, we show it to the Overlord, but we cancel it and we're going for a Stargate instead. The reason why I brought it up is that you typically skip Warp Gate initially and go for a Stargate if you're going for a Stargate opener. Which is why he showed it to make it look like he was going for a Twilight Council opener instead. So a bit of deception going on. Bit of deception. From MaxPax. Meanwhile, back at home, Solar just getting his third base up and running. Droning on up. Working on link speed and... yeah, everything's looking normal from the Zerg player at least. I'm pretty sure Solar should be able to piece together though that, especially with an Adept first, should be a Stargate opener. Oracle is on the way. And the Queens are getting in position. We're soon to have 2 Queens here at the Natural, soon to have 2 Queens in the main. Oh, let's go. The natural, not the unnatural. Poggers, yo, it's actually something to bring up, okay? In ZVP, it's actually important when you're able to expand. It's crazy. The nature of the denatured natural is naturally unnatural. True. I agree. Spitting facts and logic. As behind this, MaxPax is getting his third base up and running. Oracle gets across the map, but it doesn't get much done. The Queens were in position. Spores are on the way as well. And so far, Solar is holding. That will all change, though, once the second Oracle hits the field. At that point, we can one-shot workers. As Solar barely doesn't lose that drone at the third. So far, doing a great job at keeping up with his Queen control. Queen positioning, even. The Oracle will instead rotate around. What's this thing called? Ursadak. Okay. I thought it was an Ursidon. Ursadak. I'll remember. I won't remember that. It's the Hippo. As the Oracles rotate into main base, once again, the Queens are able to keep up Spores in position as well, and we don't get a drone. Ay. So far, Solar doing a great job keeping up here, and MaxPax struggling. He gets 2 workers with his Adepts at least. He's able to get some damage done, but again, Solar keeping up at every turn, droning up heavily, saturating his bases, looking strong. I almost died. Behind this, it is going to be +1 and Blink on the way. Very standard transition once again. Did mention before that MaxPax isn't really one to delve into like these weird crazy cheeses or unorthodox play. It's very straight up in PvZ. Once again, it is going to be that Blink Stalker follow-up. He gets another 2 drones with these Oracles. So far, 4 drones have gone down. That is not ideal for the Protoss. Not especially after investing into 3 Oracles like this. MaxPax, he is still looking for damage. Dips in towards that third, but Solar keeps up and fends MaxPax away. And MaxPax is going for a more tech-heavy style. We have a 4th base in production, second robo, first robo, second forge. Yeah, there we go. Second forge. I was like, did I see things? No. Second forge is coming out as well for double upgrades. And it's on Solar now to recognize what's going on, to recognize that his opponent is doubling down on tech. And we can go one of 2 ways. We can either try to go for an all-in and punish MaxPax, or try to tech up ourselves instead. And race into a hive. There it is. Hydrogen is on the way. It would be good to see an infestation pit momentarily as well. Just because Solar doesn't want to get left behind. There we go. We are going for 1-1. No Bay. Bear that in mind. So it's still just a pure gateway composition here from MaxPax. We have Lings trying to bust into the natural base. At the same time, Solar does get on top of those Stalkers. 3 Stalkers go down. +2 is on the way. Hydra upgrades as well. Bailing speed. Solar double expanding, getting his 4th and his 5th base. And he's looking to be in control. Again, I do think he could have maybe squeezed out an infestation bit, but outside of that, he's looking strong. We'll see if MaxPax can break him. He's cleaning up a decent amount of creep. Force wedging his way in between the 3rd and the 4th. Oh my god, big stage trap's going to be going off. Pailings try to roll in, but again, MaxPax is in position, and yeah, again, we're getting into a longer game. The longer this goes on without an infestation bit, I'm concerned for Solar. I guess this is the biggest difference between Solar and Dark. Dark is very quick to tech up. Solar, he's staying here on a more of a mid-game composition, which can do well against these Stalkers, but now we have the Bay on the way. Soon we're going to have Colossus, Disruptors. Like MaxPax, he's working on that next step. Meanwhile, he is getting surrounded. Zealots are going down, and Solar is about to max out. Again, he believes in this Lair Tech army. Ling, Bane, Hydra. Can he break MaxPax? MaxPax out of position. Banelings do roll in, and they will connect. Take down half the mineral line. They roll into the 3rd, but Hydras are going down. There we go. Lings do come in to reinforce, as Solar's just rallying everything across the map. He's in a way forcing himself all in with this. He is being forced back, and he doesn't get on top of the Stalkers. He's going to be forced to fight here as well, and Solar, he's going to be able to hold on to his ground. He does stand his ground, I should say. Zealot run by on the right-hand side is going to be met by these reinforcements. Does get cleaned up, and Solar, he's just hammering down that Ling key. +1 range on the way. He wants to make this work. Now, if you remember, this is what happened on Equilibrium. This is what happened when eventually Solar ran out of steam and MaxPax took the game. Oof. As you can see here, 3 workers going down. Solar staying on a lower worker count as well. As else they warp into the main. The longer this goes on, the better it is for MaxPax. As the Prism does go down. But the entire army comes back to the main. That does free up some room here for these Stalkers as they just clear up some creep. Vie for map control. Colossus have arrived. Ugh. And I'm getting more and more concerned for Solar. No Infestation Pit, no Hive, no Vipers, no direct answer for these Colossi. And the Colossus they have revealed themselves. Solar still has an army. He's trying to go for a surround, but the stasis traps are going off. Lings do come in from behind, and he will get the Colossus. He gets one. Another is coming in out of nowhere. The Banelings, they do crash into the Stalkers, and it looks like Solar is barely going to try to break into this 4th base. Colossus catching some reinforcements. Oh, catching a lot, actually. The Zealots are getting some of the Hydras. MaxPax, he's trading well. As the Colossus will eventually go down, but so do the Hydras, and that is the army of Solar just annihilated. GG gets called, Solar runs out of steam, and MaxPax will take the series 3-1. GG. GG, well played. Solar just was all in, was very all in with the way that he was playing. It was all or nothing for him. And yeah, he just eventually he did well initially, you know, killing some workers, trying to break that third base, but it just was not enough. And congratulations to MaxPax as he does fight back for the world. He does put another point on the board. GG, well played. Yeah, again, like Solar, I understand the logic, but it happened twice now. It happened on Equilibrium and here on Hecate as well, where Solar gets momentum, he gets a solid economy, a solid enough economy, and he just hammers down just pure Lingbane Hydra, refuses to tech up even further. And that just did not work, or does not work against MaxPax. His defense is just too good. And now we need to pick our next player. As you can see here on the screen, these are our teams. These are our teams from left to right. For Team Korea, we have Dark, Hero, Maru, Solar, and Cure. Both Solar and Cure have been eliminated, so 3 players left for Team Korea. Meanwhile, for the world, we have Clem, Oliveira, Cyril, Estrella, and MaxPax. Likewise, Estrella and MaxPax have also gone down and been eliminated. So we are tied up 2-2, and it's going to be on Team Korea to field another player. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Dark, Hero? So we're going to be getting ready for it. It is going to be Solar's teammate. It is going to be Maru. Let's go. I was thinking, who is feeling confident against MaxPax? It's going to be a Terran. It's going to be Maru coming up next. Oh. There we go. They are just about to reveal said players. Vetoes are currently underway. And before I forget, because it's a fresh best of 5, we have some predictions. Predictions are on the way. We're getting ready for it, pal. We're getting ready. See you soon.